Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's round 18 around USA. And today we're here with Tier 5 for today's race. It's going to be a very eventful one with the current championship leader, Andy. I've forgotten his name, my bad. Today, I am Chris12LFC, and I am joined by RSF1 Rubens. Welcome, Rubens, and what are you expecting for today's race?
Thank you very much, Chris. So that was very well done.
Thank you. Apart from forgetting Andy's name.
Yeah, good phone call. Apart from forgetting Andy's name. Yes, I am very much excited and ready for this one. Thank you very much, Chris, for stepping in. Obviously, at late notice. Obviously, you did F3 yesterday, so
yeah,
double duty.
Yeah, exactly. I love doing it though, so it's all fine with me.
Yeah, good stuff. But this is your first time commentating F5. This is your first time watching F5. I know you're kind of a good watcher of the races anyway.
Yeah, I believe I have commentated F5 once. I believe I did it with Musical Rocket because I think he jumped in for one time and I was with him, I believe anyway. But I'm always in the stream having a little look, and it's always crazy.
Oh, did you do Singapore? Was that the one?
Yes, it must have been Singapore.
I was away.
Yeah, I was injured, so
I was away for that week.
I couldn't drive that week, so I did double duty, I think, on comms just to keep myself going.
I was away for that week because I was working on that one.
Yeah.
Yes, and I remember that race.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, this is F5 pretty much. You obviously, in terms of pace, these are arguably the slowest, but they do not minimize on the entertainment, because at the end of the day, these are people still working on their racecraft, on kind of they're new to leagues and everything else, so they do make the odd mistakes, and that's what keeps the championship pretty open. It's all about consistency across the season, which it is across all the tiers, but yeah, they still provide good racing and clean racing as well, although sometimes it can go a little bit crazy, but that is what it is.
That's just racing for you on any sort of like game or anything.
A couple of new drivers here tonight as well, but we'll go over them a little bit. But we've got 17, which is great to see, isn't it, Chris? Because we're at the end of the game cycle. We are so close to F1 2021. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it's what's the date today? It is the 8th of June. We have well, for me, it's a month and 5 days, because I get it early access.
Oh, trust you.
I'm silly. I kind of paid a lot for it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So,
I saw the prices.
Yeah. But no, it's end of a game cycle, end of a season as well. It's not just like end of game cycle you see. It's like end of season you see, like the numbers start to dwindle a little bit.
Yeah. I've seen it a lot in this year's game as well, due to some issues that we've experienced over the season. But yeah, it's one of those games this year where you love it or you hate it. That's the best way of putting it. And a lot of people have given up.
Of course, it's natural, isn't it? If you're not in a title fight, you kind of dwindle interest, isn't it?
Exactly. Some people really want to be up the front. Some people are just happy, racing in general. Depends. It depends what kind of driver you are.
So it is good to see that we've got a healthy number here tonight, and I hope it hopefully continues.
Yeah, it's lovely to see 17. It's probably the biggest number. I think it's the biggest number I've seen for a little while, actually, in any of the tiers.
In terms of F5, I'll give you, and obviously everyone else that is new, a little bit of a rundown. Obviously got Andy Yuzkin leading the championship. He's, as I said, being consistent, got a few race wins under his belt. Kind of the man, I guess, in form, although you could say Raikkonen and Ferrari also is the guy in form, because he came into this season with no race winners in about 2 seasons long, in about 2 years, and then he won about 4 or 5 races in a row. So it's like buses. You wait ages for one, and then loads come along.
That's crazy.
But the great thing about this tier is you still got people pushing for their very first race wins, in RSF1, including the likes of Hippo and Tacticals. Tacticals is the one, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
That he's gone so close. Like, he's had, second places 4 times. and he's always been so close to winning, and I really want him to get it, because getting your first race win, it's like taking a big weight off your shoulders, isn't it? And then the confidence just comes along.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that one, but I've never had one, mate, so I can't really understand that, but I do get what you mean.
I had one, but that was about 30 races ago, so
Oh wow.
it feels like I haven't.
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, all good stuff. So yeah, see the likes of both the Renaults. You've got Andy and McCracken, both Ferraris, Raikkonen and Tacticals up there. Tedist, or also Ted First, which some people call him.
Yeah, I normally go with Tedis because it just runs off the tongue a bit easier.
Yeah, and also you got Lincoln in the Racing Point, and Dano and a McLaren. They're the usuals I kind of expect. But the lovely thing about a season, Chris, is sometimes you get somebody who's is not normally near the front come to the front because it's their best track. So
exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does depend on this game. It's all about where your best track is. It's not like real life where a normal driver would be at the front. It's completely random because we're all in equal cars, and it's lovely to see. Makes it very entertaining. And I don't know what's happened to Logical, but he is retired.
He's retired on manually on track as well, right in front of Raikkonen, which hopefully Raikkonen can see this on the top of the hill. Oh yeah, he's off. So he set a 38.9 and then retired.
What?
That is baffling in so many ways.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's happened there. Strange.
My only guess would be is something's happened where he's at, and he's literally had to drop everything. That's my only thought.
But then I don't think he's left the session.
No.
That needs to be looked into, maybe. I don't know what's happened there.
Or maybe he cut the corner and validated. That was so angry. I was like, I want to retire this.
With 9 minutes
really
left
don't
in
know.
Q1.
Really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. Interesting.
I was going to say he's one of the new drivers here tonight. Well, interesting first impression.
Yeah, and also, have you seen Andy's lap? That's quicker than some drivers have been set in F4 practicing.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yeah, 30.8 already. Very good stuff. He's on it.
Yeah.
Not hanging around.
No, exactly. That's a very good lap. Especially in Q1 as well.
Yeah, which makes me think by the time we get to Q3, if he can keep that pace up, we're looking at a low 30 possibly.
Yeah, he'll be at a low 30. Everyone else will be in 31s at this rate. How's he done that?
I really don't know. The other new driver we need to talk about is Mackie, and Mackie is a fascinating one for me because I haven't seen or spoken to him for about 4 or 5 years.
Oh.
Used to be in a league that he helped run before I joined RSF1, and I joined RSF1 and haven't heard or spoken to him since. So I'm kind of glad to see him again. Hopefully he does well.
Yeah, nice to see him back racing. Because I presume he just took a break.
We just broke apart. Let's just say that.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
It's one of those things you have a silly, stupid argument like for like 6 or 7 years ago, and time has passed, and you think, how silly was that?
Yeah, and you think,
and you're back once again.
Can we just say hello to each other and put it behind us, sort of thing?
Well, the interesting thing is if he gets a podium, it's like, hi, remember me?
Oh yeah, good point. That'll be one.
Oh, hello, Raikkonen.
Oh, hello, yeah.
Where Raikkonen's got to. So, we were saying about Andy being quick. At least we have competition.
Yeah, that's true. This just makes me feel really bad for my team.
Yeah, they're pushing each other. This is the thing. They're both eyeing the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, they're going to push each other to new heights.
And the other one's Tedist, isn't it? Who's down, not set a lap yet, actually.
Currently on a lap though. 7 minutes. Do you want to go over the standings if you can?
Yes, I had it up a second ago.
Bring them up.
Here we are. Right, I'll go from bottom to top. So we've got 3 drivers on 0 points right now with Shadow Moses, Kabuki, and MT the Mighty. They're all in 0. You got Stars Orphan with 10 points for McLaren. Chronic Buds in the AlphaTauri with 11. Immortal with 21 in the Red Bull. Mando in the Haas with 30. Timmer, I nearly called him Tima, in the Racing Point at 33 points. Only Destroy in the other Haas with 61. Hippo in the Alfa Romeo with 61 points. You've got Daniel P45 in the other Red Bull with 64. We'll skip that one. We've got Lincoln in 7th place there in the Racing Point. McCracklin,
yeah.
130 points in the Renault, with Dano joining him on the same points. Got Tacticals, as you said, is very unlucky not to get his win yet, with 148 points for the Ferrari, with his teammate Raikkonen with 206 in 3rd. And then we've got Tedist with 213 for the Williams, and Andy Yuzgin leading the championship with 243. So no matter what happens today, he's going to walk away still in the lead of the championship. Which is big for him.
Yep. But this is one of those races, obviously, we saw yesterday, that things can change very, very quickly. And all it would take is a huge result for Teddy Raikkonen and Andy to have a bad race, and all of a sudden, they're right back into it.
Yeah, correct.
Something does tell me, though, because of Andy's consistency across this season, they're going to need like a race like that to take the championship away from him or to close things up.
Yeah, they definitely need an Andy 0 points, a DNF or something. Otherwise, this is it's going to be a very tough ask.
Do you want to go over Constructors? Because something interesting has changed at the top, and we did forget to do it yesterday.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Hold on 1 second, I'll get them back up. Oh, the Constructors is quite tight. We got Alfa Romeo at the bottom with 61. With AlphaTauri in P9 with 69. Haas in 8th with 84 points. Just a point behind Red Bull. So that's a nice little battle they got going on there. Mercedes in a world of their own with 110 in 6th. Then we got McLaren in another world of their own with 155 in 5th. Racing Point with 216 in 4th place. Williams 298 in 3rd. Then we got Renault and Ferrari battling for the number 1 spot. Ferrari currently have it by 6 points. They've got 379 points. Renault have got 373, which is very close.
The significance of that is actually Renault were leading the Constructors before Japan, but after Japan, because of a very good result for Ferrari, a 1st and a 5th, they have actually taken the lead of the Constructors away from Renault. The first time in like 8 races, because Renault's held it since, I think it was around Canada-France time.
Yeah.
So they have held it on. The problem is that Andy is scoring consistency. McCracken here, who is at the moment stuck in 13th, although he is on a lap, hasn't had the best of luck with his race result. Missed a couple of weeks as well. And that's why, Ferrari have put on a few good runs of results, podiums and a couple of wins, and that's why they've taken it back. So Renault need to fight back. McCracken goes up to 7th to join interesting cluster of cars there. Tedis, Tacticals, Immortal, Lincoln and Kraken all quite close to one another.
Yeah, with that Tedis lap, I don't think he's pushed that hard. It doesn't look like he has.
Yeah, they're all 6/10 currently off the top 2, Andy and Raikkonen, both obviously very, very keen to get 25 points here.
Yes. Oh, okay. I thought I said Lincoln left, but he's retired, so we're all good.
Yeah. Dano joins that little group as well. Looks pretty tasty. From 3rd down to 9th at the moment, although Hippo just outside of it in 10th.
There's a bit of a gap
between
14th and 15th, so the people at the bottom there are going to struggle to do anything unless they find a lap.
Yeah. This might be a head-to-head between Orphan and Mackie for who goes through, because we are looking at one other driver to join local Dino.
Yeah.
Local Dino.
Or like a local din 0.
No, logical. Logical. It's not
Oh
local.
yeah, local. Yeah,
I missed
I
it.
joined in with you. You're a bad
I missed
influence.
the GI. I know I missed the GI.
Oh yeah, it's a bit small.
Orphan. Oh, Orphan gets ahead of Kabuki by 1700ths of a second.
Oh, Kabuki's in a bit of trouble now. He's in the danger
And he's
zone.
8 tenths down. Yeah, he's about to start a lap.
Yeah.
You got Maki on an out lap as well. Now we do need to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, I'll let
your
you
boy
do that.
Prue in the Williams. Right. We all those in the Discord all know the reason, because it was said by the admins and the committee. Now, I'm going to say this. For me personally, it's sad that it went as far as it did. That's all I'm going to say to it. The action was appropriate, was correct by the admins and so on. But for me personally, I'm sad to see that it went that far, that he left, or things were said, so on and so forth. As a league, obviously, we've got to move forward, and yeah, it's one of those things. It's sad to see, but it's stuff that needs to happen every now and again. So, yeah, we can go from there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We have to move on.
So yeah, I believe logical Dino is in the Williams proper from now on, joining Tedist or Ted First.
Yeah.
Again, though, great first impression for Williams. And
Yeah.
Hippo, go to the left. Hippo was trying to give a little bit of slipstream to Kabuki.
I think if anything, you may have put him off. Yeah, he's put him off.
Yeah, because he kind of stayed on the racing line, so Kabuki was like, when do I brake? When do I turn in? What are you doing?
Yeah, Kabuki will not improve now. Maki is up by 1 second. Which isn't enough, actually.
No. Although that's just in the first sector, it could be improving a little bit more. Is Kabuki finishing? No, he's just definitely gone. It's up to Maki in the Mercedes.
That's interesting. Hippo caused his teammate a bit of an issue.
1.7, he's got it. He's just need to find a couple of tenths more in this last sector.
He's took that
Maybe
corner nicely.
Spinning AlphaTauri there as well.
I didn't see the AlphaTauri. I must be blind.
I think that might have been MT. Yeah, that was MT the Mighty. As Maki needs to be a 32.899. Is he going to do it? No, misses up by a couple of tenths. So it was Maki and Logical Dino, the two new drivers, out in Q1.
Thrown in the deep end is the best way of putting it.
Maybe Maki has had a bit of a break from racing. Maybe he's still is a little bit rusty, because he did like a 34.7 to begin, and he's did a massive improvement, but only just missed out by a couple of tenths.
Yeah, I get a feeling he's warming himself back in before the new game.
Top of the session, though, and Yuskin and Raikkonen by 6 tenths over the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ominous. Ominous if no one else can find anything. Could be a 1v1 duel for pole position between them two.
Yeah, I can imagine Tedis has got more in the locker. I think he's got more there. Surely.
Speaking of locker, happy birthday, RSF1 locker, if you are watching or watch this at any point.
Yeah, happy birthday,
It's
pal.
his birthday today.
I think
Obviously a former F5 driver,
Yeah.
now in F4.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he did my tier. I'm pretty sure I've had a couple of racing moves with him. Couple of nice little battles.
So yeah, all looking tasty enough as we head through into Q2. I'd love to know what happened to Dino there, but retiring on track will result in a penalty unless he has a very good proper reason as to why he did.
Yeah, to set a 38.9 and then retire on track, it's very odd.
It's the retiring on track thing, really, because
yeah.
you're not meant to do that.
Yeah, because I think we had one yesterday as well, I believe.
Those of you that missed Japan last week in F5, I'll just run you through the results of that. Raikkonen took his 3rd victory of the season, just beating out Andy Yuzkin into 2nd place in the Renault. 3rd was Tedist in the Williams, followed by Dano in the McLaren in 4th. 5th was Tacticals in the Ferrari. See, as I said, a good job for Ferrari last time out. Can they continue it, maintain their Constructors lead? Timmer got his best result since his return in 6th place in the Racing Point. 7th was your boy in the Williams. 8th was Chronic Buds in the AlphaTauri. 9th was Lincoln in the Racing Point, and the last point was Destroyer in the Haas. According to Tacticals, penalties kind of moved that around, hence why my table for the standings before they were updated were a little bit different. Because, because Stuart's penalties.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even pay attention to the difference. I just read the one that was in the chat last. So I hope that was the right one. Yeah,
that was the right one. Because my one was Race Director.
Ah, okay.
But obviously I don't get the steer support, so obviously there was a penalty involved in all that.
Fair enough.
Alrighty then, Q2 strategy time. Quite a few of the mediums, which I'm kind of surprised about, because we've had a few races here this week, Chris, and I don't know whether you do this. Do you watch the races like briefly before you have your own, just to see what the strategy is?
Yes, I always do. I like to learn what's going on. And from what I've seen and from what I've even done in practice, go out on the mediums at the start and then they'll put a set of softs on at the end. That's the plan, I think, that everyone will do here. Because the mediums aren't fast enough to get you through.
Yeah, it's like over a second, isn't it?
Yeah.
Almost a second and a half.
Yeah, nobody will get through on the mediums.
I would be surprised if they do.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be shocked.
But there is a lot of them going on it. There's only Chronic, Timmer, McCracken, and Dano now on the softs.
Yeah, I think they're just doing 2 runs here, but doing 1 run on the mediums and, praying they do a good enough lap. If not, go on the softs at the end.
Fair enough. Right, let's ride on board with Chronic Buds to see a lap of the United States of America circuit, the Circuit of the Americas in the middle of Texas, as we rise up the hill to turn 1, which should see plenty of action on the first lap. Then down the hill on the other side through turn 2, completely flat out right-hander, and then into this wonderful left-right, left-right, left-right section, similar to Maggots and Beckett, similar to Suzuka's S's that we had last week, just the wrong way round pretty much. And then you've got to be careful of these exit curbs up and over the rise at the top of the hill. I think it's turn 8. Lost count by the time you're riding on board. Then into this left-hand hairpin, which you can go for a lunge up on the inside, but the problem is you've got the exit. If you one ride, the person you've overtaken can then blitz back by with the DRS as you go all the way down the back straight past the Ferris wheel on the left-hand side, which I don't even know the name of. I just thought, oh, it's there, let's talk about it. There's a hairpin at the end of the back straight. It's a very good overtaking opportunity. And then into this sequence of corners, which you could take multiple lines for, but you can see the Chronic Buds line here on the exit. You've got to take a wide entrance to aim for the late apex. And then this triple apex right-hander as they go around the spectator stand, a magnificent structure that you saw in the middle there. Final 2 corners. 90-degree left-hander, carry the speed as much as you can. Keep careful with the track limits. Crossing the line is 32.7 from Chronic. I think he would need to do a better lap than that.
Yeah, he's slower.
To go through the Q3.
He's slower than Andy on the mediums.
Yeah, it's got kind of needs to aim where Dano is, and a 31.8 on the softs was a pretty solid lap.
Yeah, Dano should be okay, unless everybody does a crazy lap at the end.
Who else is on a lap now? Daniel's back in. There's anybody else on a lap? McCracken's invalidated. Hippo.
Yeah.
Hippo's just coming around on the mediums as well. It's making me think, Chris, there's possibility of oh, that's harsh.
32.7 anyway. That probably would have been danger zone.
That would have been a solid lap, actually.
Oh, actually,
compared
yeah.
to like, yeah,
The 10th off what Andy
compared to
would
like
have done.
Andy and Lincoln would have been ahead of Lincoln as well.
Yeah, you've got
But
a point.
he just ran far too wide in the last corner, which is a harsh one, but it's a correct one.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make me think there's rain in the race, Chris. There's so many on the medium tyres. But they're trying it.
But then if there's... yeah, I suppose. I see what you're saying, because there might be rain later on in the race. To start the
later
mediums,
on, you see.
Maybe.
Well, like the ones on softs are either like, I just want to get through to Q3, or they haven't seen.
Yeah, I can imagine I want to get through to Q3. That's what I would do.
Mm.
Anyone?
Him is going comfortably on the softs. I did notice in the standings, especially when you went over them as well, Chris. Obviously, we were talking about it last week in F3, but mention it again. Obviously, the Race of Champions end of the season, which a lot of these F5 drivers are actually very keen to be involved in. It's safe to say, I think the front three are settled. Andy, Raikkonen and Tedest.
Yeah.
Fourth place, though, and the last spot is not settled, is it, at all? You've got Tacticals in fourth, already holding on to that fourth, but then you've got Kraken, Dano and Lincoln that are very close to him as well, so
yeah, so
definitely
is
something
it the
there
top
that
four
could go
then,
down to the wire. Well, it's top four definite, and then you got fifth and sixth and so on reserve spots if like any of the top four can't make it.
Yeah, because Lincoln said to me earlier how much he actually wants to be in that. He really wants to be in that, so he's going to be pushing like mad.
And that's the idea. That's the positive of the Race of Champions. If people aren't in a championship fight, they can still go for that.
It's a very, very good idea for an incentive for these people to keep racing, these drivers to just keep going. Yeah, you've definitely got a point, because more drivers are on the mediums now.
James MT, the Mighty, goes 33.7 to go 7th. We're looking at the top 10, remember, to go through to Q3 as Raikkonen 32.1 in the mediums is a solid lap time.
Yeah, that's a nice lap.
At 1.4 seconds. Yeah, that's about right, actually. From what he can do, because he can get into the 30s, so 1.4 seconds, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that 32.1 he's just set is around the tier up, tier 4. That's kind of what tier 4 are setting on the mediums.
Oh, great.
That's a nice lap.
But the other thing about the Race of Champions is, it's like for these guys, they get to race with like tier 3, tier 2, even tier 1 drivers. They get to see, you know, be in amongst them, you know, maybe learn a few things from them as well.
Yeah, exactly, and test themselves. They get to absolutely put themselves to the limit of the best drivers in the league.
Well, here's the thing. In the first race, it's reverse tier order.
Ooh.
You see?
Okay.
So it's basically, there's a few things to, you know, because naturally you'd think, oh, the F1 drivers are going to walk away with it, or maybe a couple of the F2 can mix it in.
Yeah.
But to keep it kind of, you know, give like tier 3, 4, 5 a chance, the first race, for example, is, as I said, it's reverse tier order. So whoever, for example, whoever finishes 4th in tier 5, obviously if they can make it, will start pole in race 1.
That's interesting.
So if the top 4 stay as it is, if, for example, Tacticals will be on pole, and then third would be Raikkonen, second would be Tedest, and then so on, and then it'll be whoever was 4th in F4, and then so on. So you'd have the champion of F1, which I believe is Corey Marshall, starting right at the back.
Yes, yeah, you are correct.
And of course, they got to work their way through.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting racing, and these guys wouldn't have raced with each other that much either.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't know how the other driver's going to react.
Yeah. Race 2 is completely random grid, so that's up in the air where you start.
Yeah.
Race 3 is a reverse of the current race champion standings up at that point, because obviously we have it updated after each race. So whoever's like at the bottom of the standings will be starting on pole again.
Okay. That's very very good idea. Whoever came up with that needs a pat on the back. Very clever.
Me and Muddy Biscuit.
Okay, well done. It's a great idea.
I mean, it's, be interested to see how that goes down.
Yeah.
Right, let's see who's in trouble. So we've got Tacticals yet to set a lap, Hippo, Kraken, Immortal. Yet to set a lap, although Immortal's invalidated his first
Yes.
run on the softs. Kraken's just coming through now.
I've been watching McCracken and Immortal the past 2 laps, and they both invalidated at the little S section twice in the same spot on the left-hand side.
Ooh.
They're just pushing way too hard. But I've been keeping an eye on them.
This is big pressure for Kraken. He's got to really join his teammate into the next session.
Yeah, he's got the whole of Renault's pressure on him, hasn't he? He needs to do it. Don't want to pile the pressure on him, but he really does need to get himself up there.
Well, his last 3 results, he's had 3 races without points, 2 of which he didn't attend for some reason. 9th in Monza. His next best result is a 3rd, but that was in Hungary. And Hungary is a while back, so he does need to get back onto the good results for Kraken.
Yeah, he needs to sort himself out, because whatever's going on, it's affected him a little bit, hasn't it?
A lot of understeer in the penultimate corner there. Didn't get the turn in at all, but seemed to work. That seemed to work.
Wow.
31-3. There you go.
Okay. As we were saying, the pressure, he must love it. He loves that bit of pressure. Good lap.
Those on mediums, you've got Andy in 6th. I don't think Andy's safe.
No.
I would say.
No, he's not.
Raikkonen, I think, might be safe.
I think probably Raikkonen up are fine. But...
Everyone's on softs, though.
Yeah. This could get interesting. This is what I was saying. Set a lap on the mediums at the start, pop out on the softs at the end, and you're going to do well. Chronic Buds is in trouble.
Yeah, 32-7.
Yeah, and he's retired, so
7th
yeah,
at the moment.
he's not in a good place.
Here comes Tacticals, 31-4, just by McCracken.
Okay. Dano might have retired a bit early here.
Damo coming in 3rd. Might be alright. If you say that Raikkonen is safe, then Dano will be safe as well, because obviously it's ahead of him.
Yeah, but then what if everybody improves? Because Tacticals went above him. Hippo's now above him. This is what I'm saying. I think Dano's in trouble here.
Good lap from Hippo there. 31-6.
Yeah, very nice lap. He must have put it together. Who's on a flyer now?
Everyone's on softs. Even Raikkonen's on an out lap. He doesn't feel safe at all.
Yeah. Yeah, Dano and Chronic Budge will end up out, I believe, here. I do think so.
Possibly if we see huge improvements from everyone. The Renault in the pits, that's cracking, that's fine.
Yeah.
Minute to go.
Kabuki coming into the final sector now through the long, windy corner. I hate this corner. You can just lose it so easy. You can invalidate onto this turn and he gets it just about right. Should have used a little bit more of the track on the exit. It's going to compromise him a slight bit. Into the final corner and he set himself a 1... Oh, he's out. I don't think...
Oh, only just.
I don't know if he's got enough to do another lap. His fuel light's flashing.
Yeah, I think that's him done. Misses out.
Yeah.
Lincoln's in the pit. Lincoln's done.
Oh,
Lincoln's out. Oh.
Lincoln's made a rookie mistake there.
Yeah, P12 at the moment. Chronic is down to 9th. Orphan's in the pits. Timmer's in the pits. They're just inside the top 10. They might be under pressure as well. Might get a couple of surprises.
Tedist is under pressure here. He's P10 right now.
Yeah, doesn't need it. Obviously, one of the championship contenders, a little bit of pressure. Gets it through the S section clean, though, so that's always the first, like, major part of this track done.
Yeah, but he did heavily lock up into the hairpin before the straight.
Both Red Bulls under pressure. There's a Red Bull coming round the triple right-hander. It's Daniel into the penultimate corner. You got a
Immortals out.
AlphaTauri. MT the Mighty goes 4th place.
Wow.
Mighty goes 4th.
That's a good lap. Yeah, Immortal is out. He was the Red Bull you saw going off track just in front of Teddist. So he has not set a
Daniel
lap.
goes to 7th. Andy's in 10th for the moment. And you got Teddist just outside. And you got Kabuki and Mortal. Kabuki's done, so it's Teddist and Andy. Are we going to see...
Teddist should be okay.
Teddist.
He should be okay with this lap. Yeah. 31
Oh yeah, fastest. And then it's just Andy with the last lap of the session, which is going to knock Stars Orphan just outside of the session. Oh. Wow, I thought Stars Orphan. I think if Orphan had made it and he's just missed out by a 10th and a bit, that would have been his first Q3 of the season.
That's just unlucky.
And Andy in the last lap just knocked him out.
Yeah. Lincoln's not going to be happy with that either. He should have gone out at the end and decided against it. I'm not sure why.
So, yeah, Raikkonen abandoned his lap on the softs, which means he does start the race on medium tyres, the only person to get through on them.
That might be a smart call if there's rain, but those medium tyres at the start of the race, I tested it earlier, are terrible. They are not good from the start. They do not heat up, and he'll be very slow. He'll be going backwards.
But if you can make it work, huge.
Yes, correct. Because he'd be fast at the end. Another one, though, we might have 2 stops today.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't seen 2 stops at all this week.
Yep,
so far.
2 stops might be a faster strategy if you're bad on your tyre wear.
Oh, okay.
That could be an interesting little spanner to throw in the works as well.
So Teddist just tops the session. No one in the 30s. So, of course, we saw a couple of high 30s in Q1 from Andy and Raikkonen. Obviously, I think Andy just made a couple of mistakes on that lap in Q2, just enough to get through into the top 10. I think he was trying.
Yeah. I think it was also down to the weather, because I believe the clouds came in that session as well. Because I think it was sunny in the first session and then a bit cloudy in the second. So,
yeah, and the clouds remain, by the looks of it.
Yeah, they remain. There's a bit of blue sky in there this time, so they might be able to improve again, but you never know. It's very, very unpredictable here around USA this race. I'm not really sure what's going on.
All right. Who got 19 viewers at the moment. Thank you very much for watching this race. Predictions in the chat. Who's your bet for pole position? Who do you think is going to top a very important grid slot at the top? And it is going to be Raikkonen, one of the contenders, I would say, for pole position. Comes out first, immediately followed by another one, Andy Yuzgan.
Yeah, getting out nice and early, set a lap.
Who would you say?
I knew he was going to put me on the spot there.
Who needs it most? Who needs it the most?
I think
as well as another question.
Raikkonen needs it.
Raikkonen or Teddist?
Yes, one of those two will need it. Andy obviously doesn't really need the pole. But my call for pole today is probably Andy. Because I think he's got a lot more in him than he's shown.
Okay.
What about yourself?
There's a few contenders. Andy, Teddist, Raikkonen. Might involve MT the Mighty as well in there. Hippo did a good job in Q2 as well. Was in 5th place.
Yeah, to be fair.
So he might have a bit more. My money's on Raikkonen. I think Raikkonen's just going to edge it.
Yeah, I think you might have a good call there. But he's going to be the first guy doing a lap, so...
Yeah, if I keep on board with Raikkonen, you keep on board with Andy, and we'll compare the sector times as they come through. Daco Pear says MT, but he's biased. Well, at least he's honest about being biased.
Yeah, you got to have someone to support.
Return 1. Nicely for the S section. Lovely, you can tell he's on a wheel. Very, very smooth by Raikkonen.
Yeah, big advantage being
24... 24.5 first
Andy's
sector.
Invalidated.
Oh.
Yeah, invalidated and backed off.
If you can jump on board with Tacticals, I think he's just coming through now as well.
Yep. He's on a 24.741 through first sector.
Oh, a couple attempts slower. Oh, a she. A she. Daco Pear is a she. I apologise. 1 minute, 0.9 for Raikkonen in the middle sector. That's a very solid lap so far.
Yeah, Tacticals has been a bit slidey through some of the exits and the corners. He's not been perfect.
You got Dano, I think, catching on Andy. Obviously, Andy's backing off.
101.7.
Yeah, Raikkonen has to drop down a couple of gears for the penultimate corner. Didn't do it perfectly, but let's say 30.6 as the opening lap.
That's the best we've seen yet, is it not?
I believe so.
Tacticals coming into the final 2 corners now. Try not to invalidate. He uses all the track there, which is the best way through there. Final corner, as long as he gets on the throttle nice and smoothly, he might challenge. No, 31.1. He lost a lot of time in the last few corners.
Second for now, though.
What's Tedist up to?
Daniel, then Hippo. Being validated. Kraken goes third. And it's MT and then Tedist.
Tedist is way off the pace.
I think he caught up to MT the Mighty on that lap. Might have hampered him a little bit.
Yeah, very possible.
Timmer goes 5th in the racing point. And that's it for the first run. So is Andy going for a second lap? He is. 24.4 first sector matches Raikkonen's first sector.
Him going for another lap might be dangerous. His fuel light's on and he'll be doing a lap with limited fuel. It might not be worth it.
I think he lost half a second middle sector. Pretty sure. To Raikkonen. I'm pretty sure Raikkonen was a minute 0.9.
Yeah, I think if Andy's a very smart guy, he'll probably box. Well, he stayed out. He wants to finish his lap.
He wants a lap on the board.
Yeah.
Gives him a target. Not going to challenge pole, but does go second.
31.0. That lap from Raikkonen was a beauty.
Getting very overcast, or is it just me?
No, it certainly is. It certainly
very
is.
dark all of a sudden.
I saw it in Q2 coming. That's why the laps got a little bit slower. So this also could work into Raikkonen's hands. If the the conditions get colder, the track gets worse, and Raikkonen will be on pole.
Hippo goes 6th on a second lap. Gets a lap on the board as well. Pretty solid lap from him. But yeah, look at the clouds up in the sky.
Yeah, this is going to work into Raikkonen's favour.
I think everybody's going to be heading back in. Yes, they are.
Drivers are, I think, thinking about coming straight back out. I would if I was them.
I love how we've got the top 2 in the Constructors separated by 4 points. First, second, third, and fourth.
That's brilliant.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Definitely think Tedis has got more in him.
Yeah, like you said, I think Tedis got slightly held up. Just a little bit.
Not intentionally.
Not
by Mighty,
intentionally,
but I just think...
Because I think Mighty was preparing for a lap. I believe, anyway.
Yeah, Andy was completely out of fuel because he spent pretty much a whole lap trundling around.
Yeah. Lucky for him, he's got loads of time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Slowest we've ever seen Andy drive, is it not? He's normally absolutely on the limit.
Yeah, just casually, just bring it back in the pits, and then we can rate for round 2 of this.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to round 2. As long as the weather stays off and lets us have round 2, that'll be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't
Racing
look
points
good.
straight out. Racing points straight out of Timmer.
Yeah, it's a good call. If you look at the clouds again, it's starting to get really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting darker and darker by the second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it ends like this, in terms of the front 2 rows, I don't think it's going to finish like this.
No.
If it does, that will be a tantalising first 2 rows.
Yeah, well, it's weather dependent at this point, really.
Mm.
Because obviously Tennis won't start 8th. I don't think Tennis will be 8th.
I'd imagine he'll try and get a little bit higher. Dano maybe to mix it up with the front 2 rows. Hippo maybe as well.
Yeah. I think any of these drivers could put themselves into the front 2 rows, to be honest with you. They've all got a little bit more in them than they've shown in their first runs.
I was thinking as well, in terms of like, if you're thinking about the constructors, because I think realistically it's between Renault and Ferrari.
Yeah.
Of who's going to win it. I would say it's a straight up head-to-head duels. Raikkonen versus Andy, and Tacticals versus McCracken.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely bang on there. Absolutely bang on. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see which one of those drivers can come out on top for their team.
Yeah, because I think you got to sort of weigh up the question: is can Raikkonen beat Andy, and can Tacticals beat McCracken? Or obviously they have the lead, so obviously they got to beat both the other teammates, if you will.
Yeah, I get you. It's a lot of pressure.
Ooh, good first sector from Timmer. Found half a second through the first sector alone. A little bit deep through the exit though. Might have lost a bit of time, but oh, really? Really? Don't gain anything.
Where do you invalidate?
Over the white lines. Just over the crest of the hill. You know, there's a right round aboard with Tedist. See the red part?
Yeah.
There.
Really?
That's
there?
where he went. Yeah.
Oh, this game.
No, it's technically he was over the white lines, but he didn't gain time. That's the frustrating part.
I've been saying this for a while. I believe there should be a system where you can back off and gain, like, lose the time that the game thinks you've gained.
Well, I race in a thing, an ACC, Assetto Corsa.
Yeah.
Which obviously is a sim, yes, and this is more arcadey, but so on. But they have a system in that, if you go off track, which of course I still do on that game as well, they have a system where if you go off track, it detects whether you've actually gained time or not, and it says to you, well, you're not gained time, so you're not going to be penalised for it.
Yeah.
I reckon they should have a thing in this one, in F1 as well.
It would make sense, because it's ridiculous. The penalties you can get on this game sometimes are mad.
Mm.
Anyway,
But
Andy is flying, I think.
I
believe he's up.
He is. Oh, well, yeah, he's 2 tenths up in the middle sector compared to Raikkonen's time. He's on a challenge for pole here. It's definitely got very, very dark. Might get rain in like the last 10 seconds.
It's very, very dark.
Jeez, I'm almost surprised it isn't raining. This is a good lap.
Yeah.
I think Andy's, if you can get the last corner right, this is going to challenge pole. Is it going to be enough though?
Yep.
30.4.
That's a very nice lap. McCracken
He set the target for Raikkonen.
has started a lap.
And he's found a 10th in the first sector.
straight shootout for pole here.
MT the Mighty goes up to 8th. The AlphaTauri. Thomas Couple attempts up and invalidated. Tedist is
3 temps
3
up.
temps up. He's half a second down on the front 2 though. Might be aiming for 3rd. How's Tacticals? Well, Tacticals is a 10th up himself. He wants to consolidate 3rd place. Raikkonen 10th and a half up. He's so close to Andy's time.
Teddy's coming into the final corner now. He needs to get on the traction as smoothly as possible. And he does, and he's going to go P5.
5th.
He's going to be
slightly disappointed with that.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit annoyed about that, I think.
Tactical's invalidated, but he might still be able to stay in 3rd. As for Raikkonen, he's a 10th and a bit up, which is so close to Andy. Can he get the last 2 corners right? Can he get pole? He does.
That's a nice lap. 30.2. Where are these lads finding
Very nice.
this pace?
Pole for now. Dano's got damage. Kraken invalidated. Daniel is done. MT the Mighty. Yes. Raikkonen with the pole. Andy 2nd.
Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't F3's pole a 30.1?
Mm-hmm.
How have these two done this?
Again, they're pushing each other for the championship.
That's mad. That's actually an amazing lap from both of them.
Yeah. Good stuff. It could be an interesting fight at the front, but you've got Tacticals with a good 3rd place. Dano in 4th, just ahead of Tedis. Tedis will be slightly disappointed with 5th, but he's not too far off the lead pack. Kraken in
Yes.
6th.
But for Tedist, he's got
Daniel
Dano and
7th.
Tacticals in between where he needs to be.
Owen 8, MT the Mighty 9th, 10th attempt. And let's not forget, of course, Raikkonen will be starting on the mediums.
Oh yeah, good point. I completely forgot about that. Oh, this is going to be a good race.
This is all going to depend, I think, on the start
Yeah.
that Raikkonen has.
Yeah, Raikkonen really does need to get away well on those mediums, but they're not great off the line.
Mm. So Raikkonen and Andy on row 1. Row 2 is going to be Tacticals and Dano. Row 3, Tedist and McCracken. Row 4, Daniel and Hippo. Row 5, MT the Mighty and Timmer in 10th place.
I'm just waiting for us to load in, and then I'm going to go and do something quick.
Cool. Raikkonen, he joins, because he didn't join last week, but he joins this week. Pole again, but of course, last week he didn't start unsaid pole because of the grid penalty. Nothing to worry about in this one today, but what a battle between you and Andy Yuskin for that pole position. 7/10 ahead of the rest of the field, but I think you're just pushing each other for that pole position. And you got it by, I think it was around about 2 attempts there. That must have felt very good.
It feels amazing. It was just a lap that just perfectly went well together. I didn't do as well as I wanted to do in the first sector, but in sector 2, I just nailed it. And putting the purple sector 2, just kept it together for sector 3, and it just came together. Yeah, great.
Yeah, very good stuff. Starting on the mediums though, interesting call, interesting strategy call, but if you can make it work, you'll be in a very good position in the second half of the race. I guess your kind of goal here is that, well, if you can keep the lead, brilliant, but even if you lose the lead and lose a couple of positions, as long as you stay in the lead pack, you're laughing, because you're obviously going to be in the really quick soft tyres towards the end.
Yeah, basically, I want to just try to stay ahead, take control of the race, perhaps. You never know, there might be some incidents behind me through the S sector through lap 1. So yeah, just see how it goes. Hopefully, I'll be there and get a good result.
Yeah, obviously need a good result chasing Andy Yuskin, championship leader who starts alongside you on the front row. You also got Tennis that you're kind of fighting with as well. He's starting in 5th. Those obviously your main targets. The other targets is staying ahead of Renault, obviously taking the Constructors lead after the end of the Japan. Yeah, you've got a lot of targets to keep an eye on, but of course you're just going to keep your head down and just concentrate on your race.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tactical's putting in a good performance to get in the 3rd place. You must be happy with that as well.
Yeah, it'd be good because like he's we're kind of like under the gentleman's agreement now that we're gonna concentrate on my drivers' championship kind of aspects for the team. So yeah, because I've got the stronger chance of winning it. We're obviously in it together for the division's constructors championship. But yeah, well, we're looking forward to it.
All right. Let you get ready for the start of the race. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And maybe speak to you to the end.
Okay, thanks.
All right, pole position for Mr. Raikkonen. Can he consolidate that into a very valuable 25 points to close the gap on Andy Yurskin, the championship leader? Obviously, Andy Yurskin will be looking for the complete opposite of Raikkonen, take the lead as soon as possible and try and control the race from there. But can Tacticals get involved and help his teammate out? You heard obviously they're focusing on Raikkonen's Drivers' Championship, but can Tacticals kind of get in there, kind of hamper Andy Yurskin and keep him at arm's length ahead? Obviously a long run down to turn 1. It's a very wide entrance to that corner as well. We could see a lot of lunges from a few people going into that corner. Could be very interesting. Could be very interesting. And of course, got the long race ahead. Logical Dino has left for some reason, so I'm assuming at this point, but I'd assume there is something wrong and he wasn't able to do the race or something, because I don't see him on the list.
That would make more sense then to why he left and retired on track.
I didn't see him leave the session on mine.
No, neither did I. I never saw him leave at all. Weird. His debute's not gone to plan.
Yeah, so... Oh, he is... His name isn't on the list, but he's on the race director. That is an issue and a problem, because his car's still going to be going round.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You see?
Yeah, that's not great. He's going to need a very, very good reason for this to have happened.
Hopefully he's okay, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it could be something immediate. I was just talking about, obviously, turn 1. Long run down to turn 1. Massively wide as well, so we might see a few people lunging it, making a few positions. Obviously, you've got the braking time for the corner and the apex. And that's the thing with this circuit as well. There's a lot of corners, a couple in the middle sector as well, where you can lunge, but you've got to remember the apex is where the other car is aiming for and might not see you until that apex.
That's true, but you say it's massively wide. It really squeezes up on the apex at turn 1, and it's so easy to be in a crash.
Right. Yeah, his car is still there on the grid,
Should I just ignore the last car on the grid then, or do I...
Yeah.
Just pretend it's not there? Right. I'll go through the grid for you then. So.
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll ignore the driver at the back, but we got Mackie in P16 in the Mercedes on his debut, so hopefully he does okay for himself. Immortal in the Red Bull in P15, a bit further back than he would have liked, but it should be okay for him to come back for. He's starting on the mediums as well, I've noticed. RSF1 Lincoln, a bit further back than he would have liked as well, starting in P14 for the Racing Point. Kabuki in the Alpha Romeo in 13th place. Chronic Buds in 12th. We've got Stars Orphan in P11, just missing out on the top 10. With Kima in 10th place. We've got MT the Mighty in 9th. RSF1 Hippo in P8. Daniel P45 in the other Red Bull up in P7. McCracken in P6. Yes, I got his name right this time. I'm doing better. He is starting in P6 for the Renault. Hopefully, for him and his teammate, he can do well for the Constructors. We've got Tedist, who's a championship contender, down in P5, behind a couple drivers when he would really want to be up there with Andy and Raikkonen. We've got Dano, P4. Envy Tacticals, who's in that Constructors battle with the Renault cars. Andy in the other Renault, actually, in P2. And then the Ferrari of RSF1 Raikkonen setting an amazing lap. And he's even starting on the medium tyres as well. So it could be a very, very interesting to see if he gets a good launch off the line. Or if he gets swallowed up by the drivers behind.
Mm. You've seen that lovely picture on the cha-cha train by all the drivers.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that.
The weaving left and right. Lovely camera.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yes, there's a few obviously questions here. The key is to start from Raikkonen. I mean, if you get the demon start, to get the best start he's ever had, he can maybe keep the lead. But I can imagine Andy will be straight up trying to overtake him at the first opportunity. Although if Tacticals behind in third can get a better start than Andy, and obviously they both will have a better start than Raikkonen, he could have the lead and then help his teammate by keeping Andy Yuskin from, potentially running away and controlling the race.
Yes, that's a very, very valid point there. He could be a very, very good blockade for Raikkonen in this race. He's a very quick driver, but there might be some team orders to try and keep Raikkonen close if he does lose this P1 off the line.
Yeah. I'd imagine also if we have a situation where Andy gets past Raikkonen but Tacticals does not, Raikkonen may allow Tacticals just to go through at that point in the first stint before they pit. So maybe, again, keep an eye.
Yeah, because if Raikkonen lets... Say Raikkonen lets Tacticals go at this first stint, that's probably a good call for him, because he'll be a more contender at the end for Andy.
28 laps ahead of us for the United States Grand Prix. Get a good camera angle, please. Here we go. Can Andy get a good start as we head for 5 red lights for the USA Grand Prix? And lights out of the way we go predictably. Andy gets a better start than Raikkonen is up in the inside.
Chaos at the back.
Dano up the inside of Tacticals. Is going. Oh, his Hippo's missed his brakes completely. Gone straight off Hamilton style into the first corner. Caused damage on his front wing and caused chaos behind.
Oh my word!
There is no safety car. I think he's okay. I don't think he caused. Yeah, he's caused damage to himself. Just mistimed brakes completely. But Andy's taken the lead ahead of Raikkonen and Tacticals. Dano in 4th place. Kraken's got ahead of Tedis. Chronic Buds is up to 7th from the start, so he's benefited from that. Chaos says there's a Mercedes of Mackie who's made up 7 places, nearly losing it as he went over the crest of the hill.
Yeah, at the very back of the field, we had Orphan and I think it was Daniel P45. They were off track and there was absolute chaos going on back there.
Of course, you got the AI car as well, as Tacticals has moved on the inside. I don't know whether that was team orders or...
Logical seems to be going quite fast. Are you sure it's an AI?
It's definitely an AI. It's got a cross on it.
Oh, he's going quick.
Maybe the AI level was set quite high. I don't know.
Must have been.
That's also a good thing, though, kinda.
Yeah. Be less of a blockade. Oh, he's just forced off Star. Oh, he's forced off Orphan.
Yeah, that's the problem with the AIs as well.
Yeah, they don't have
right,
a very
end of the
good
first
brain.
lap. Raikkonen struggling on these medium tyres. He's got Dano all over the back of him because he was nearly sideways out the last corner. Dano might looking for a lunge, and I think's better of it.
What lap did you say we're on? End of the first lap?
Timing thing.
It's just told me it's DRS is enabled and we're on lap 3.
No, not correct at all.
Oh no, this is going to be chaos then. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, Mackie is all over the place right in front of Immortal. But Timmer down. Yeah, you see the time pages are now going to completely mess up.
Yeah.
Give it a bit. Oh, Mackie really struggling. He's all over the place. Can't control the car. Hippo saying sorry. It's all right. Mistakes happen. As Omoro got a massive lunge on Mackie in front of him, and takes the move. And then you got Timmer and Daniel, I think, connected as well.
Right. I'm only just getting back where the order is right now for me because it's all mixed up.
Yeah, Hippo's still out of place on the timing screen, but it's all good.
There
Mackie takes back. 10th place ahead of Immortal. He's kind of got a little bit of a train coming up behind him, but he's made such a great start. Of course, he wants to keep there.
Andy has gone.
Yeah, this is not what Raikkonen kind of needs, really. He's kind of struggling to keep the get the medium tyres up to grip.
Yeah. This is what nobody wanted to see here, is Andy absolutely bolting. All the other drivers have got a lot of work to do now.
Kraken was
2.5
right
seconds.
up on the inside. Yeah, well, Kraken was right up in the pit lane wall trying to block the slipstream from Tedist. Got to head him off the line on the first lap, so Tedist will be eager to get right back in front of him.
Yeah, Tedis needs to do something and needs to get himself further up if he's serious about this championship fight.
Lincoln's only made one place as well, still in 13th. Obviously Hippo, Orphan, Daniel got all caught up in the first melee. There is a big train right behind Mackie in 10th place. All these cars behind him.
Tedis,
Really struggling.
Tedis is using his DRS but no ERS, so he's not ready to overtake just yet. He's just sitting there. Everyone's having a go at Mackie now. Lost 2 places
What's
down that
going on back
straight. Timmer and Immortal just went past him with DRS assistance.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Linking up the inside of Daniel, takes back 13th. It's all kicking off.
Mackie up to 6 seconds of pens already on lap 3.
Yeah. Raikkonen's doing a good job keeping Dano at bay, but he's losing time to the top 2. Probably Ted knows what he's doing from Musical Rocket, who of course won F3 last night.
We don't need these notes of what he's doing from Rocket anymore. We've had enough of that.
He's going to call himself
Lincoln just
Raikkonen
missed
in
his
this
braking
point.
zone into turn 1 and nearly went into the back of Mackie. Saved himself.
They're still going at it back there.
Yeah.
Jeez. Right, we'll go back onto the tyres now. As the stops as well. So yeah, AI car, Dino and Hippo both went into the pits. Tedis needs to get by McCracken, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he should be able to. He's not using all his ERS, so if he doesn't need it, he's using the DRS to sweep by into 5th place, although McCracken's trying to still fight it. Tedis kind of pushes him a little bit.
Yeah, I was about to say he's forced him off the track slightly there. Very aggressive.
Raikkonen has already got a 3-second penalty. That's not going to help him in the long run.
No. No, especially because it'll be pushing really hard on the softs at the end and probably pick up more.
Buzz doing alright in 7th place. Keeping up with these the front pack.
Yeah, Chronic Buds, you said had a very, very good start. Did he not start, what, 9th, was it?
Yeah, made up 5 places from the start.
Oh, wow. That's a
12th,
great
12th
start.
he was.
You couldn't have wished for a better start then. That's lovely. Now we've got that little period in the race where everyone's just single file, just playing nice. We might get something
into
out
the
of it
rhythm
soon.
of the race now.
Yeah, exactly. Thing is with USA, you either get an amazing ridiculous race like we had in F3, or you can get a very, very dull single file, absolutely no battles.
Aki's already up to 9 seconds worth of penalties on
Yeah,
lap 5.
I saw that. I think he's probably at risk of getting disqualified if he carries on at this rate. We don't want to see that.
So we've got Andy 3.5 seconds up the road. Thinking that was... I'm trying not to say tactical because obviously tactical's name. I think that was team orders to allow tacticals to go through. Time penalty for both Ferraris now.
Ouch.
And
now McCracken as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was team orders to allow tacticals into second place, but the problem is he can't keep up pace with Andy Yuzgan.
No,
Yuzgan's...
he's not even pulling away from Raikkonen.
He did initially, but I think Raikkonen's now in the rhythm of these medium tyres and he's trying to keep a solid pace.
Yeah, he's keeping up very, very nicely.
Like he's still battling with, now battling with Stars Orphan. 14th, as Kraken's made a big mistake because Chronic Buzz has got by him.
Oh no. That's awful for Renault.
Yeah, not good at all. Just made a mistake in the S's and Chronic is into 6th.
Raikkonen's got 22% ERS left. He's absolutely going through it.
Mortal just gone by Kabuki. Kabuki is in that 10th place at the moment, just been passed.
Yeah, Kabuki's been going backwards the previous lap. I saw him just getting slower and slower, and I think he made a couple of mistakes. There must have been mistakes, because he really did not have a good lap. Oh, Timo nearly lost it.
Kabuki still looking for his first point of the season.
Well, it's a big chance for him to get it today. He's currently sat in P10, as you said. And if he keeps his penalties to a minimum, then he's got a good chance.
Right on the cusp of it as well.
Yeah.
He's been so close to points. It's one of those things like I want, like from now to the end of the season, like I want Tacticals to get his first win. I want Kabuki to score his first point.
Yeah. As a neutral, you would love to see that happen.
Yeah, Tacticals is struggling with the pace of Andy, and yeah, he's got Raikkonen now. It's now gone to the point where maybe you want to let Raikkonen back through.
Yeah, maybe those softs have already, hit the limit. Because they do wear very fast. Yeah, he's letting him go.
Yeah, there he goes.
There was a little lift from Tacticals.
Yeah, I think the opening laps it made sense to let Tacticals through into second, but now Raikkonen's got temperature up on those mediums. He's now in the groove.
Exactly.
And back past they go.
And now he'll bolt away from Tacticals, and let's see if he can close the gap on Andy when his soft tyres are starting to go a bit second hand.
And the closest battle on track at the moment is Kabuki, under attack by both Racing Points. Timmer ahead of Lincoln, although Lincoln's on the medium tyres at the moment.
I just thought I'd go and check out what Andy's up to at the front. He's got 87% ERS. He's just managing the race quite nicely at this moment.
Yeah, he's done exactly what he needed to do in this first stint. Get the lead and just start controlling this race.
Yes, exactly.
Of course, the problem he's going to have, though, is when he pits, and when Raikkonen pits, Raikkonen obviously, you would assume will get the gap back down when he's on the quicker tyre.
Yes, Raikkonen will be very, very fast at the end of this race. And it's going to be a lot of work for Andy to keep him behind him, to be honest, because he will close that gap massively.
Immortals now on the back of MT the Mighty. I think a few guys are struggling on the softs.
Yeah, the softs do wear very, very fast around this track. I think by lap 11, they would probably want to get them off the car. At the latest.
But it's at this point where obviously the initial bite of pace is starting to ebb away.
Yeah. Yeah, they're starting to feel it now. There's more slides from the soft runners, as you can see if you ride on board with any. They're starting to struggle a little bit. But Tedist is closing the gap now on Dano. Into DRS range as well.
Mighty's struggling with the grip. Mighty's in, that's an early stop.
Yeah, Mighty's had enough of those tyres.
Kraken in as well.
He might be going to the hards. The mediums will
Or
not go to the
two-stop
end.
as it's just come up.
Yeah, it could be a two-stop, yeah.
Kraken was in as well, hards for him. Mediums for Mighty.
Yeah, I think Mighty's doing two-stop. There's no way he can get the mediums to the end from here.
What's going on here? The two Racing Points attacking Kabuki for... This is now 8th at the moment. Raikkonen is slowly closing in on Andy Yuskin.
Yeah, and I think Andy's tyres are definitely done. You can see on traction now, he's not as heavy on the throttle as he once was.
Oh, Kabuki's in big trouble. Didn't get a good exit out of the hairpin. Lincoln might be looking at... well, he makes a move on his teammate anyway. Timmer, and he might be close enough for Kabuki.
No.
No.
Oh,
Thinking about it. Kabuki, no.
Really early.
Lincoln might be looking at a lunge up on the inside. Kabuki gives him a little bit of room.
Very, very good overtaking spot here if you get it right. No.
Oof. Oh, Kabuki goes wide.
Kabuki's exploring the whole track.
Yeah.
Lincoln's got a run on him. Shouldn't overtake him here. It's not a good corner.
Ooh.
Yeah, Kabuki I think is in the
Cuts
pits.
the corner.
Oh, he's hit the pit
There
lane.
he goes.
He's gone straight into the pit lane.
Oh no!
Nose first though, so he hasn't retired, but he has lost its wing.
Oh, what a shame for Kabuki.
And he's sped into the pits. Yeah, I think he's done.
When is he gonna get the luck? He's
Yeah.
in such a good place.
He's sped into the pit lane, but he hasn't retired. Okay.
No. That is such a shame.
Yeah. Raikkonen's got the gap down to under 4 seconds before the straight, and he's using no ERS. Andy is absolutely going for his ERS down that straight.
Yeah, he knows this is the time to push a little bit, minimise the gap, so he doesn't have to do too much chasing down. Of course, he's got that penalty now to worry about.
Yeah, and Andy's not really known for picking up penalties either, so it could be a challenge for Raikkonen at this point. But if anyone can do it, he can do it.
Tactical's doing well, holding on to a solid third. You got Dano, Tedis closing in slightly. So McCracken onto the hards. Definitely go to the end. Oh, Tedis pits. Kraken can definitely go to the end, I'd imagine, from there.
Yes, McCracken will be fine to go to the end. Kabuki pitted for the hards, so he shouldn't have really sped into the pit lane. There's a Sector 3 yellow flag.
Oh, Mackey's had a spin.
Ah, yeah, I can see him here. Facing
Exit
the wall.
the hairpin. Yeah. Damaged his front wing as well, almost spinning it in front of Hippo. Hippo just glides around the outside and goes off the track in the meantime. Same for Mackie. I think there's still a little bit of rust in the system, but it will get it out in the next couple of races.
Yeah. Just pit for the hards here and he can go to the end.
Tennis went on to mediums, came out ahead of McCracken though.
Okay. Oh, Mackey's retired.
Oh,
He's called it.
he'll be back next week.
Yeah. It takes time to get back into the rhythm.
Mm.
Raikkonen's got the gap down to 2 seconds.
He's really caught that down. Andy must have had a few mistakes here.
It's those tyres. Andy should have pitted last lap. Those tyres are done. And he's in. Andy's in.
And he goes now.
Yeah, he had to. Those tyres were completely second-hand.
What was he going to go on to?
I would say mediums to the end.
Mm-hmm. Hards.
Hards. Okay, so he doesn't trust those mediums get to the end. That could be a really, really interesting call towards the end.
Tacticals behind goes on mediums, as does Dano.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Now, either that is the game making the strategy for him, or he doesn't like the mediums.
Here comes Tedis. Tedis just gets out ahead of Dano. I think he undercut him?
Yeah, he has. He was behind him.
Yeah, undercut him. So he's looking at potential net third place if he can keep behind Tacticals.
Yep, and there's McCracken with another penalty. I'm just watching Andy on his outlap on these hards. I would not want to be on these tyres.
Well, it seems to me a Renault strategy. They've obviously talked about this because they've both gone for it.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't trust the mediums.
A very, very good point. Because the mediums to the end is a risky strategy. Because the tyre wear does get a bit heavy towards the end. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Maybe they're thinking, yeah, that we can just go on the hards. They're safe, but at least we can push on them.
Yeah, guaranteed to get to the end.
Right, so who yet to stop? So Lincoln, and then the top three, Immortal, Chronic, and Raikkonen. In fact, well, Chronic was the last of those on the soft, so he pits. Where's he going to come out in all this? Because he was right with Dano, McCracken, and Tedis and all that lot. He goes on to the medium tyres.
Lincoln has
Where's
boxed.
he going to come? And Chronic is going to come out just behind McCracken, but he is on the quicker tyre.
Lincoln's going for the 2-stop.
Oh, softs.
Yeah, I would have gone medium soft if you're going to do the 2-stop, but he's gone medium soft medium. Unless he's got two softs
Or medium
available.
soft.
Yeah. Maybe
Which
he's got
he
two
would.
fresh softs.
Where would he?
He
He went out in Q2. He'd have at least one. I don't know whether he'd have two.
Yeah, I don't think he'd have two. I know he spoke to me before the race and said he was thinking about a 2-stop. But, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Right, so this leaves the front two yet to pit. Obviously, Raikkonen 14 seconds up in the lead, and you got Andy who's now caught to the back of Immortal. Andy would be keen to pass Immortal as soon as possible here. Doesn't want to lose any time behind this Red Bull.
Yeah, he can't afford to, really. Especially if Raikkonen goes all the way to the soft running, and he comes onto those soft tyres at the end, and he's on those hards. There's a two compound advantage. So he'll be ridiculously fast compared. He's having to go.
And he's got a good round out the last.
He's going to pass
Got
him
him.
easily into turn 1. Maybe even before. Yeah, before. Nice, easy
Way
overtake.
before. Tactical's fastest lap.
He's getting on with those mediums better than he did with the softs.
It is one of those kind of spreading out a little bit, aren't they? There's
not really a battle on track, is the best way of wording it.
this is a quietening down, which is not F5.
Yeah, exactly. It's normally wheel to wheel, and yeah, it's normally entertaining. At the moment, we've got a little quiet period.
We need a safety car.
We really do.
It's one of those things that you'd wish you'd had like a button to press. It's like, call safety car out.
Yeah.
Why'd you call it out?
We need the AI to
There was a
crash.
little piece. You could say to them afterwards, there was like a little piece of there was a bollard on turn 1. Did you not see it? They're like, no. Well, I did.
Yeah, I saw it sat there. Well, at the minute we've got a mobile chicane in the AI at the back, so we could call that for a safety car reason.
Raikkonen has got past it without too many issues, I don't think. Do have Orphan on the back of Hippo for 13th. This is Orphan with ERS and DRS. Might be a bit too far back, I would say. Yeah, thought better of it.
Lincoln's...
As we do have Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln's on those softs, isn't he? He's flying.
Which you would kind of expect.
Yeah, you would hope so. Raikkonen, another penalty.
Oh.
That's frustrating. Oh.
Hey!
Lincoln, what happened there? Give him a little love tap on his way past. I don't know what he was doing there.
Yeah.
Crazy. He's a madman.
That in football terms is a shoulder tackle.
Yeah. He's a madman. What was he doing?
Right. It's through into 9th anyway. He can now set off after the other AlphaTauri of Quonic, who's 5 seconds up the road.
Yeah, Lincoln's using every inch of the track and more at the moment.
Right, so the last piece.
Sector 3 yellow flag. Kabuki's crashed.
Oh,
I believe.
No, he's it's in the pit lane, retired.
I can get a little bit excited hoping for the crash. That would be a safety car. Instead, it's in the pit lane. That's unfortunate for Kabuki. Right. It all went downhill when he hit the pit. Was he the one that hit the pit lane wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ruined his race, didn't it?
Tacticals with a second time penalty. Both Ferraris are suffering with the track limits at the moment.
And Andy, I don't even know if he's got a warning. I'm going to go check. I'm not even sure if he's got a warning. Tell
you what, he's doing very well on those hard tyres. He's closing in on Raikkonen.
He's got 2 warnings.
Even pulling away. He's even pulling away from Tacticals.
That's crazy. Yeah, one more extension for Andy. He'll have a penalty as well. Any other battles? Not really.
We got Orphan still in the back of Hippo. At the moment. Might go to that. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's been following Hippo for a few laps now.
Hippo's on 13 lap mediums. As he got caught up in the start, which again is another shame. I think he should be much higher in this race.
Yeah.
But genuine mistake, I think.
He pulled a Hamilton, is the best way of wording it.
Yeah. I heard the Channel 4 coverage of that, by the way, as well. You just hear Mark Webber just screaming high pitched. Did you hear that? Yeah.
It's been going all around online. I was like, oh no.
Oh, Raikkonen's in.
Oh.
Raikkonen's in. Is
So softs might be too early.
Softs to the end, are we alright?
Oh, it might be too early.
I
think he's a lap too early.
Model pits, by the way.
Okay.
Tacticals is going to get ahead of him. Crucially, Tedis does not.
Yeah, Mortal's onto the softs now as well. I think these two have gone too early on the softs.
Okay.
Yeah, because the tyres don't really last very long.
You said 11 laps though, didn't you?
At a push, yeah.
Absolute most.
Yeah.
And these would be fresh.
True.
Would they be fresh? Yes, they would.
Yeah, true. So
they would be fresh in Raikkonen's case.
It might just be okay.
Right, first task is to get by Tacticals, but Tacticals will not make this difficult, I'd imagine.
No, Tacticals will probably back off. I would do it now if I was Tacticals. There
we go.
Yeah, it's nice, easy overtake.
Nicely choreographed, and now he can set off for Andy. But the problem he's going to have is unless Andy gets a penalty, he's got to catch, pass, and gain 6 seconds to win this race.
And that's regarding he doesn't get another penalty.
The other problem is going to have this Williams. That's not going to help him at all.
No, he's got that pesky AI.
This is an awkward place.
Oh, don't ruin the race, AI. What you doing?
Eee, that was close. I hate it when this happens.
Yeah,
I really do.
It's so frustrating. Like you said prior, hopefully everything's all right with Logical, but it's a bit irritating.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's going on with Daniel and Timmer here? They're fighting tooth and nail for 11th.
There's a yellow flag. That's gone.
Might have been the AI.
Yeah, probably.
Timmer's got to run out the last corner on Daniel.
Raikkonen, another penalty.
Raikkonen, another pen.
Oh.
It's too many.
Yeah.
It's far too many.
I think that's kind of decided the race.
Pushing too hard.
Yeah, I said to you
Raikkonen's
prior.
got 12 seconds.
I said to you prior, I think penalties might decide this.
Raikkonen's got 12 seconds, and that's going to push him down as well.
12? I thought it was only 9.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Ah, so Immortal could be in a good space here because he's on fresh softs. Going to pass Lincoln, whose tyres are surely not going to get to the end on here. It's penalty free. So he's got 1 on Chronic, 12 on Kraken. Might be looking at a 5th place here for Immortal if he can pick these off one by one.
Yeah. He's got to make the most of these fresh tyres and see what he can do. Tedist is sitting pretty nicely right now as well. He's in P4, just going around minding his own business. Andy, penalty.
Oh, well, that makes it slightly interesting. It brings it back down to 6.
Yeah, back
and
to where we were.
Raikkonen is catching. I mean, if he can catch and pass Andy by, say, lap 23, he may have a chance.
Yes.
He's still got to get on with it, and the problem is he's still probably pushing, and that's probably bumping up the warnings again.
That's true.
Oh, Lincoln. He's losing it over the top.
I think
They're
Lincoln's
all going...
2-stop strat is not going to work out here.
No. It's weird, he hasn't been on pace really at all this evening, and Immortal is going to sweep by easily.
Yeah, Lincoln gave me a heads up today, and he said he's not really getting to grips with the track. So that's probably what's going on here. That's why he's gone for the aggressive 2-stop, I think.
Now, as long as Dino doesn't get too involved, right around the outside, please, Immortal. Careful! No.
We've had a problem, have we?
There you go, yeah. Try to go around the outside of the hairpin, and fortunately, I don't think he got damage himself. Definitely hampered him, though.
Unless it's that damage we can't see, then he should be okay.
I'd imagine he's got a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't tell from this angle, but... Right, so Raikkonen is catching 2 seconds now.
I don't know if he's catching him fast enough. That's the thing, I don't know if he's doing it fast enough.
Because of the penalties, he's got nothing to lose. He's got to catch, pass, and just see what he can do on the other side.
Yeah. There's a saying, he's got to send it. Just send it. Hope for the best. The best way of doing it at this point for him.
Chronic, meantime, is all over the back of Kraken. Kraken's really struggling on these hards.
Yeah, they're not
Can't be consistent with them.
Chronic's going to get him.
Chronic's got a run.
He's run out of ERS though.
Gonna go for the lunge, and yeah, easily by.
Yep. Comfortable overtake for him.
So that moves Kraken down to 7th, and he might lose out to Immortal and Empty the Mighty at this point.
If Tedis gains a tiny bit of time here, he might put himself in a very, very good place, because he's currently in P3 on penalties.
Yeah, easily got Tedis at the moment. No, Tacticals at the moment.
I think he's got Raikkonen at the moment, too.
Or
was it? No, just outside.
It's 10.9 and climbing.
Yeah, because Raikkonen's, tyre advantage. I forgot.
Yeah. Lincoln Pitts. He's going to put himself out of the top 10. That moves Empty the Mighty and Timmer, I think, straight into it.
Raikkonen's going for it this lap. If he can get this right off the exit, and he hasn't really.
No, not at all.
Ooh. He really needs to get ahead.
I said by lap 23.
Yeah. He's used a lot of his ERS as well, that's the problem. Andy's got 71%, he's only got 41. So that could play a part as well.
Mortal flies by McCracken into 7th on those fresh softs.
Raikkonen's
using him to his advantage.
Raikkonen's practically pushing Andy through the final sector. I think he'll get him down this straight, as long as he gets a good run onto the pit straight, and he should get him here. Should be a comfortable overtake. But Andy is using all of his ERS, I think, to stay in front.
Well, this is the thing with Andy. He's been able to save up so much ERS. It's going to be very difficult for Raikkonen to get by, but you can see the grip difference.
Raikkonen's going to have to pass him somewhere where Andy won't expect it. That's the only way he can do this.
Ooh. Nearly hit him.
Yeah, that was close. That was very close.
I'd sail this back straight. Maybe catch him out here. Yeah, no, back straight. Got a good exit.
What's Andy going to do? Andy's using his ERS very, very heavily.
Goes Raikkonen, nope.
The only way he's going to pass
DRS. Up on the inside and park it on the apex. Andy's thinking about the exit though.
And there we go. Now can he gap him 6 seconds?
He's got 6 laps. There's a second a lap he's got to push.
He could do it on the tyre advantage.
Yeah, but has he used a lot of that tyre just to catch and pass him though?
Yeah, that's
Is he going to have enough of that tyre left? And he's got to push, which then could be on the verge of another penalty to make it 12 seconds rather than the 9.
Yeah, this could go down to the final corner.
Meanwhile, Mortal has got by Chronic into 6th. He's absolutely flying up through the field. There you can see the 2 leaders in the background. I like how that works. When you go around that triple right-hander, and if you've got the camera on broadcast, then you can see the top of the hill at turn 1.
Oh, that's wicked. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So, where can Immortal end up? He's... Penalty on Daniel's got 3 seconds. He could catch Daniel for 5th. Be a good result for him.
Yeah, he'd be very, very happy with that, considering where he started as well. Didn't he start quite far down?
Position change. He started 15th place. He's up 9 places.
He has had a very good race so far. Raikkonen's dropped Andy out of the DRS, so that's very, very good news for him.
Yeah, but he needs to keep going. He needs to really be like 2 at the end of this lap, 5 at the end of the next.
Yeah. Because I don't
feel he's pushing that far away.
No, the prior lap he had Andy literally stuck in his DRS, so he couldn't clear him. He needs to go. He needs to absolutely bolt now, but he's only got 10% ERS. which is very important.
Right, in terms of penalties, this is... Tacticals is actually gradually pulling away from both the same tyre life. Tacticals needs 6 seconds, it's currently 4.8, and it's going up like a tenth every few corners.
Yeah,
At 4.9, so...
Tennis doesn't seem too comfortable with this track, I've noticed.
It's now up to 5, so Tacticals still could end up in 3rd place. Seems to be doing alright in terms of... Mortal closing down to Daniel. Chronic has McCracken, although McCracken's right up behind him. Amount of penalties that Kraken has.
Lincoln's back into the points.
Pass to me meaningless. Yeah, Lincoln back in.
And Tennis just got,
tennis time penalty.
Yeah. So that's probably ruined any chance Tennis at a P3.
Yeah, unless Tacticals gets another one to make it 9.
Yes. What's going on at the front? He's really not getting away. Like he said, maybe he's used his tyre grip up.
Meanwhile, Lincoln, who is on completely fresh softs, is all over the back of MT the Mighty. I might actually have him.
After all, this 2-stop might actually work out because he's going to get a couple points, and he didn't look like he was going to get any at one point.
Yep, easily passed.
And now he's got 14
he's got 14
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him making that up. Let's be real. unless he corner cuts somewhere.
It's 2 lap softs against 14 lap hards. I mean,
yeah.
keep an eye on it.
He might get to him by the final corner.
He needs to get it under 3 seconds as well, because he's got one less penalty than Kraken. At the very least, he needs to get 9 seconds ahead of Mighty to keep hold of that 9th.
Oh, I didn't realise Mighty didn't have a penalty. Immortal sat in a lovely little place, just chilling, having a great time. And also, Lincoln gets the fastest lap of the race too.
Nice. Oh, Kraken.
Oh,
15 penalties now.
Oh dear.
Or 15 seconds anyway. Dano's up to 6. Immortal's up to 3. Oh. All in the same place as well.
Was it through the windy section?
It could even be the same corner. Kraken get one, then Dano, and then Immortal got one.
Yeah, that's a very easy place to pick them up around here.
Now Lincoln's on 12.
It's just a penalty fest.
The only one now is penalty free is MT the Mighty.
Yeah. Oh dear. This is where you've got Cornish in F4 just sat there going, oh no, because he loves a good penalty in.
That was another one. Daniel up to 12. I think you're right. I think Raikkonen, I think he burned all the pace of his softs.
Yeah.
Catching and passing Andy. He doesn't have enough left to pull away.
No, I think if he pushes too hard at this point, he's just going to completely bin it and ruin even P2. So he needs to just be careful, I would say. Be cautious.
So at the moment, with 3 laps to go, lap 26, 28, Raikkonen in the lead on track, but at the moment he will lose the lead to Andy. Andy's just keeping just enough of a gap, consistency on those hards. Keep Raikkonen at arm's length to not pull away. Tacticals, because Tedis now has a penalty, I think has 3rd lockdown.
Yeah, I think so.
My maths.
Yeah, then it gets complicated.
Immortal.
Oh, there you go. We've got the whole field now.
Hey.
Yes, yes, lads.
Apart from Dino, but Dino's never going to get one because this is an AI car.
True. Yeah, that one's not in the race. Pretend they're not there.
Let me think of the maths here. So Immortal could still get Dano. He's got another half a second to catch him to get to 5th. And then, well, Kraken and Lincoln. McCracken and Lincoln might both lose out to Mighty. And they all might lose out to Timmer.
Yeah. This
So bottom end of the top 10 are going to be shuffled around a bit.
Yeah, we won't know until they've really crossed. It's just penalty, penalty, penalty everywhere.
Mighty is dropping back. He's got
Raikkonen, another one.
But now you're definitely not going to win. Oh,
Yeah.
Raikkonen, jeez.
This is Andy's now.
Andy's to lose, a lap and a half away.
Yeah, I just think you'll watch Andy now probably just back off a tiny bit so he's not pushing too hard.
Oh, both Timmer and Mighty squirming on the exit the last corner, but Timmer's got the slightly better exit. Up on the inside into 10th place, and that is a legitimate overtake because they're both on the same penalty.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask you, is that actually legit?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's probably the only battle on track that isn't, like, decided because of the amount.
Ah. Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's one of those tracks though, it does happen around here very easily.
It's been one of those races. It's been, I mean, you do get that from time to time.
Yeah.
Can't all be good.
No, exactly, you don't always get an enjoyable race, it's just...
Been intriguing.
Yeah.
Always is.
Exactly, we don't know what's going to happen. But one thing I am shocked about is we've not had a safety car. I expected somebody to bin it in the little
virtual.
S section. Yeah, true, we haven't even had anything. That's actually quite impressive from these drivers. They've done well. This is where one of them crashes now, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
I hope not.
Alright, so on the last lap.
Andy
It's one of the...
is coming back at him anyway.
Yeah. I think he's just done very well just to be so consistent on the hard tyres. It's just... That's been the key to this.
Yeah. When he pitted for the hards, I thought it was a strange decision, but it looks like it's worked out quite nicely for him.
I think it's one of those things with this cycle of game, isn't it? The hard tyres, we know what the hards are like. They're not exactly too quick, but if you can handle them, if you're consistent in your race pace, then you can surprise quite a bit. But that's all it's been.
Exactly. They've done what they can with the equipment they've got. Is the best way of wording it. And Andy has been brilliant today, and as he goes wide on the second to last corner,
track extends. It's already heading off to Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. He's had enough.
Raikkonen takes the lead on track, but Andy takes the win in USA and is going to further extend his Drivers' Championship lead. But because of Raikkonen in second and Tacticals in a very well-deserved third place, means that Ferrari are going to extend their Constructors' lead over Renault, because obviously McCracken is having a troublesome race in 8th. Tennist misses out on the podium by a second. Solid result, but he has lost ground to Andy and Raikkonen. Immortal does get Dano. So Immortal 5th, Dano 6th, Chronic 7th, McCracken 8th, Lincoln is 9th. And he might actually have Timmer, to be honest. So Timmer's going to get 10th ahead of MT and the Mighty. If my maths are good, yep. All stayed the same.
Yeah. Now everyone else will just cruise around.
And it's just Daniel, Orphan, and Hippo. Orphan and Hippo are still battling for 13th and 14th.
These two have been going at it the whole race, haven't they?
Yeah, Orphan managed to leap ahead of Daniel on penalties to get into 12th place.
Oh, that was intriguing on the penalty front.
Yeah, I think F5 will make up for it in Mexico. I think that one's going to be crazy.
Yeah, Mexico is going to be chaotic. I'll be watching.
It's going to be chucking it down, and we chucking it down with rain.
Yeah.
4 safety cars, a new winner. All championship leaders don't score any points.
It's
Yeah,
chaos.
the whole of that. all of that. Everybody's going to be like, well, that race was entertaining, but everybody in the stewards are going to be like, what the heck on earth was this?
Yeah, please, just stop.
Look at the load of penalties. Love it.
Crazy.
So Andy Yuzkin takes the victory in the Renault, and as I said, extends his championship lead ahead of Raikkonen and Tedist. Raikkonen in second and Tacticals in third.
Want me to invite
Means
them
they extend. I've already done it, so.
Okay.
Means they extend their lead over Renault, exactly what they wanted to do. Tedist in fourth. Bordel, deserved driver of the day from the game. Of course, vote for your driver of the day on the Twitter page. But you're definitely going to get my vote from 15th to 5th. Dano in 6th place, solid result for him. Chronic Buds also from outside the top 10 to 7th. Bracken struggled a little bit to 8th place, but still picked up some points from the Renault team. And then the 2 racer points of Lincoln and Timmer, 9th and 10th. Lincoln also picked up the fastest lap, which of course is the extra point. And then you got all the retirees.
I did call it. No, I'm sorry about that.
No, well done, mate. Good race.
Thank you.
I couldn't catch you, mate, when I took second from Raikkonen to try and catch you down. Couldn't catch you, mate.
Yeah, sorry about practicing. That sounds a bit condescending. Didn't mean it that
Stop practicing then.
Wow.
Let's go. Okay.
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
That
I just need to digest.
You know that do any of you guys know the meme from Shrek when Shrek does that face? That long face. No?
No.
Not aware. Yeah.
Yeah, the awkward face is if to say, oh, did he really say that? Yeah, that's my thought. Well, Chris, do you want to do? Do you want me to do all three, or?
Yeah, if you
how
don't
are we
mind,
doing this?
mate. If you don't mind. I promise you I'll do one in F3 next week. There you go. There's a promise.
Okay, cool. You heard it here first. Remember it. Note it down. Right. Go to... Apparently we can't hear someone. Who can't you hear, Rocket?
Oh,
Maybe
no.
it's because I've not because I didn't probably include my audio when I was talking to Andy.
Oh.
Rookie.
So-
Come on.
No, it's
So the
just
juicy, so the juicy, sweaty gossip that we all wanted to hear about, and you didn't include your audio.
yeah.
Yeah, come on now.
Wow. Right. Tacticals. We go to you first. P3 in the Ferrari. A solid result. Solid race pace, it seemed. By that. Obviously, the front two just a little bit too out of reach. Both pushing each other very, very hard in the early going. Obviously, you seem to be allowed through or pass through into second place to try and chase down Andy, but as you mentioned, too quick in the early going. But still, a third place for yourself. You extend the lead over Renault. Obviously, McCracken had a troublesome race, I think, to 8th today. So you keep your lead, which you obviously should be very happy about.
Yeah, mate, definitely. I mean, I'm happy to be back on the podium, to be fair. Taking P3, you're right with me taking second place to try and chase Andy down. I had a quick chat with AJ saying, just let me go past, I'll see if I can catch him down, see if we can make a mistake to get AJ back up again. But as I said, Andy was a bit too quick, and then it was just talk between me and him. Went on to softs, and it was, right, I'm going to go past you. Just good teamwork with myself and AJ, and extending that Constructors for F5. So yeah, really pleased with the result, and really pleased for Ferrari.
Yeah, I can't think what the maths would be, because it was 7 points going into this. I think it must be about 20, I guess.
What we're ahead.
Yeah. You were 7 ahead, and it might be 20 at this point. I can't think maths off my head. still another third place. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th podium of this season. I said like halfway throughout the stream, there's multiple things personally I want to happen from now to the end of the season that I've wanted pretty much all season, and one of those is you winning your first race, because you've been so close so many times. You got 3 to go: Mexico, Brazil, Abu Dhabi. Please tell me one of those. Obviously I'm a neutral, but again, I just, you know, please tell me one of those. Is a good one.
If I'm first place in the last 3 races and AJ is a distance away, then I'm going to go for the win for Ferrari. If I'm first place and AJ is in second place, as AJ said on his chat with yourselves when he took pole, it was a gentleman's agreement, and that gentleman's agreement will stand. I will let AJ go through to try and chase down Andy if AJ still got that chance to take the championship. So yeah, that's how I'm looking at it.
Well, that's a very good and noble gentleman thing to say and to do. But yeah, we'll see anyway. Mexico next time out, I'm predicting, because this was would have said a quiet? Yeah, would have said yeah, it was quite quiet. Race for F5. I'm predicting a lot of drama for Mexico, like 4 safety cars and so on and so forth. Rain and everything, monsoon as well.
Just absolute carnage.
What's your thoughts for next week?
Yeah, Mexico's a great track. The third sector's awesome with the left right on the third sectors. That's really good fun. Yeah, it was quiet today for F5 for a change. No safety cars, so yeah, it was a bit of a boring race for everybody watching, to be fair, on occasion. So yeah, let's just see what happens in Mexico. Looking forward to it.
I'm still positive. It was still intriguing. But yeah, you get those races from time to time. You'll make up for it.
Yeah.
In the next 3 races, it's cool. But yeah, well done on your podium.
Cheers,
good
mate.
result for Ferrari. Yeah, and good luck next week in Mexico.
Yep. Cheers, mate.
Right, and we keep on the Ferrari because we go to the other Ferrari of Mr. Raikkonen. Obviously got the pole when we spoke to you before the start of the race, and I just said keeping the lead pack on those mediums, and you'll be in the money. And it seemed that you struggled a little bit to get them up to temperature, because obviously Tacticals got through under pressure from Dano a little bit. Obviously Andy pulling away. As soon as you got the temperature in the tyres and into the rhythm, that's when you started to pull the obviously Tacticals back in. Got back past him and then was putting pressure on Andy. It seemed though I think Andy was maybe a little bit too consistent on the hards, which is a surprise to both me and Chris, and probably to yourself as well. But also the track limits as well. Little bit too much on that one. But you still got to be happy with second place. You keep him there, and I think you've gone ahead of Tedis as well to second place in the drivers. So it's not all bad. There's still positives there, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. You know, like I said, I was pleased with pole position, and obviously, I must say, Andy, I need to have your car checked out because that start was lightning quick. I'm sure there's launch control in that or something. Hacks. But no, yeah, obviously it took, because everyone around me was on soft, so their tyres came out top and operating temperature very, very quickly. So like when Tacticals was like chasing, or like right behind me on lap 2, I was just like, yeah, go on, you're on a different strategy to me. I'll just like stay with you and maybe keeping your DRS, which failed a little bit, I dropped a bit too far back. But then you could see, I think it was about lap 5 or 6 when the tyres table started turning the other way. And then I was then gaining on Lee, and then Lee just let me by. I just got to say thank you for not putting up too much of a fight or anything and working well as the team, and then let me chase down Andy. And I could see as well in the race when Andy's tyres must have just literally dropped off because like from 4 seconds it went to 2 seconds. I was contemplating during the race whether I should change my strategy and mirror him on the hards, but I was like, no, I'll just keep to mine. And yeah, but like you say, I got onto the softs and got caught up with him quite quickly, but he was able to very consistent on the hards, and also able to defend quite well, like through a couple of laps, which then didn't allow me to use the prime of my softs to pull the gap even further when I did eventually pass. But no, all in all, yeah, I'm happy. Second place keeps the title fight going. I think you are right as well that I do now take second in the standings.
I think so. I think you weren't far away from Tedis, and you got 6 points on him. You might be still just ahead. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as you're concerned, the fact that you're still keeping pressure to Andy, even though he's gained a few points ahead of you, the fact that he's still there, the pressure's all on him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's his to lose.
That's right. Obviously, another podium added to your list as well, which is quite substantial. How many is that actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th podium this season now.
Oh wow,
that's all good. Mexico, next time out, could be another interesting one. Got that very, very long run down to turn 1 where so many things can happen and change. What's your thoughts heading into that? Another place where penalties can creep up. So I assuming, obviously, with what happened today, you want to keep those down for Mexico.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was doing my race simulations earlier, and I was okay with like the track limit side of things. Just like because with Andy's pace, it gave me the drive to like just push that a little bit harder. So I was testing the limits more, and I got caught out. So it is what it is.
Certainly is. Good luck in Mexico next week, and yeah, all the best to you.
Thank you.
And last but not least is the Renault of Andy Yuzgin, and you've got to be very, very happy with that, because that race there, I think, with the consistency you had on the hard tyres, I'm very happy to be humble. Both me and Chris thought, it's wrong decision, it's a bit safe to me, but you humbled the pair of us because of how, as Raikkonen said, how consistently strong you were on the hard tyres. You made them work. You kept Raikkonen at arm's length, and it proved key in the result, and the result being that you extend your championship lead ahead of Tedis and Raikkonen today. The pressure's on you, but I guess for your sake, you'd rather be at the front.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite a few points ahead. I'm not too worried at the minute. I had to practice a lot for USA because I know that my next 2 tracks aren't very strong. So, I had to make sure I did well. I performed at this track, and then the next 2.
Ooh.
Maybe I can pick up a few points here or there and just play it safe instead of pushing. So I can push for this race, not for the next 2. And, a few things with that race. With the start, you could see in the formation lap, I took it extra slow. Warmed up the tyres like mad at the expense of tyre wear, which is why my tyres were so bad towards the end of the first stint, and that's probably why my start was so quick, because even though I wore the tyres like mad, they were heated up enough to get past everyone. I don't know how I was that far ahead. Like, you could see halfway through the first lap that I was 2 seconds ahead. I had no idea how that happened. It was I was in my own head. I was contemplating what happened. Did Raikkonen and Tacticals collide or something? Which I don't know if they did. They might have.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. So I don't know how I was that quick. Maybe it was hacks. Maybe I don't know if I have one. And yeah, it was a good race for me. Shame I didn't get pole though.
That's just nitpicking.
It's alright not to get it all the time. Not a problem at all. I believe if my maths are correct, so you go ahead of Raikkonen by 7, 28, no 25, yeah, 7 points. So it'll be 44 to Raikkonen, and you were 13 ahead of Tedist, so it'll be 43 ahead of Tedist with
Okay.
75 points remaining. And it is officially now a 3-horse race. It's either you, Tedist, or Raikkonen that's going to win this Drivers' Championship. So, you mentioned, obviously, Mexico, Brazil. By the sounds of it, it's a damage limitation race. Just be cautious, get solid points, which I've seen it a couple of times you have done so. So that's perfectly fine. By the sounds of it, Abu Dhabi could be very, very interesting if it all plays out like that.
We all know how Andy Yoskin does run Abu Dhabi.
Did he
Yeah,
win, didn't he win by miles last season?
Yeah, F5
20
last
seconds.
season.
I was
he
correct.
dominated. I
Make him start
commentated.
last.
Was. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's why I said the next 2 tracks, not the next 3 in Abu Dhabi. I'm very confident. I was very confident for this race, except Raikkonen put me under a tiny bit of pressure until the first lap. Yeah, in terms of those hards as well, when I was practicing, I just noticed that for some reason, like, this is why it's always good to do some practice. I did 24 laps on them hards in practice, and just every single lap I got the same time, no matter how warm the tyres were. So I decided, because of the penalties, I'll go on hards, and I know that I'll be safe because I'll be consistent. That was interesting.
Well, yeah, all good, all good. Let me just add those up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th win of the season. And I think that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, you're on 10 podiums as well. Join Raikkonen on that total. So good stuff. And I guess if anything, even if you just miss out on the Drivers' Championship, it's good to just be part of it, isn't it? At the end, to see who gets it. Best man wins.
Of course, a lot of fun.
Indeed, indeed. Well done on your victory, and good luck in Mexico next week.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have it, Chris. Maybe not high on the drama or dramatics that we normally see in F5, but certainly was intriguing, and we're now left officially with 3 drivers left in the standings.
Yeah.
Andy Yuskin, Tedist, and Raikkonen. One of those 3.
It's going down to the wire. It's going down to the wire. Ooh.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's it definitely will be intriguing and interesting who can end up on top. Mexico next time out, that long run down to turn 1. All drama could happen in even just that little section on the first lap. So
Yeah, you're not going to want to
And
be
you
on
got-
pole.
and you got the twisty middle section as well. So
Yeah. Great track.
I'm hyping up Mexico to be like the best race of F5.
Yeah, I think
Better
you
be.
might be right. I think you might be right.
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you for your company, Chris.
No problem, mate. I had a great time.
Yeah, well, definitely was a good time. And yeah, F5 will be back next. What day is it? Tuesday. Next Tuesday for the Mexican Grand Prix, 8 o'clock. Make sure you do not miss it. But we have 2 more races around USA to bring you. We've got the F1 division, Ella Blazer Guns and Hippo should be in the box tomorrow. And then you've got F4 on Thursday with the Titanic Drivers' Championship in that one as well. Musical Rocket and Lincoln should be in for that Thursday, 8 p.m. And then obviously, as I mentioned, Mexico, we will begin that week on Sunday. Of course, reminder, if you have not voted for the Race Champions vote at the end of the season, you have until the end of Mexico week to have your vote if you haven't, but please do so. Vote on your tracks of which ones we're going to go to at the end of the season for one last hurrah on this game before we move to the next one. But from everyone here, thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Good night and take care.